Tensions remained high across Ukraine's strategic Crimean Peninsula Tuesday. Russian President Vladimir Putin saying he reserves the right to use military force to protect his country's interests. While Moscow insists it has no plans to annex Crimea, if military action were to occur, analysts say Ukraine has little chance of staving off a Russian incursion.
It's obvious that the Ukrainian army is not ready for military action. The current developments are happening at a time when the Ukrainian army is in the middle of drastic reforms. On top of that, several months before all these developments, Viktor Yanukovych, the former Ukrainian president, signed a decree on discontinuing conscription.
But a lack of manpower isn't the only numbers game Ukraine is losing. It's significantly outmatched on land, air, and sea. In addition to having a much smaller army of 180,000 soldiers, Ukraine only has about 200 combat aircraft and just over 1,000 tanks. Russia reportedly has 1 million troops, 1,400 combat aircraft, and several thousand tanks. By sea, Ukraine has struggled to maintain its fleet and only has a few combat-ready ships, far outnumbered by the Russian Navy, which has a lease on the Crimean port of Sevastopol until 2042. But the biggest challenge Ukraine faces may not be on the battlefield.
Those unknown soldiers without insignia who have seized administrative buildings and airports and have blocked units of the Ukrainian army in Crimea do not provoke any protests on the part of Crimea residents. What we're seeing is a kind of velvet invasion.
Putin has voiced support for a referendum to determine Crimea's status, scheduled for later this month. Maggie Mazzetti, Associated Press.